Hello, we are the Budapest Architecture Student Studio. I am Fekete Tünde.
I am Kata Konczos.
I'm Peter. Nice to meet you.
We are a self-organizing group of students from the Budapest University of Technology and Sciences. And we would like to tell you a little bit about ourselves and the things that we do together.
There is a quite intangible notion behind an architecture student's actions from the beginning of their studies through the first all-nighter to the graduation, and we think this is motivation. Members of our studio have some overplus of that. Why else would they always want to do more? Read more, write more, see more, travel more? In order to achieve this, they are willing to do what an average architect students only rarely can: sew wood, cut thread, build a pavilion, organize workshops and lectures, edit a magazine or a book on architecture theory, visit every pavilion at the Venice Biennale each year, and travel to Barcelona to learn about welding techniques. Motivation can be different for everyone, but there are a few areas that were most important in the activity of the studio from the very beginning. Its relationship with our history, with the material, with the theory, and with other countries in Europe. We would like to introduce ourselves through these topics in this presentation.
So, I would like to talk about our studio, about our structure, how is it working. The most important thing that we have the own studio, which is an office, a lounge, and the library at the same time. We are a self-organizing group of students, of course, supported just by architects and professors, and we are independent from any architecture trends, ideologies, or any political wings. I think a critical, inspiring, and intellectual background for curriculum and extracurricular professional activities. And of course, we are the representative of the European Architecture Student Assembly. Maybe you heard about that. Our studio was founded in 1996, and in this time, the students decided that the education at the school wasn't enough for them, and they wanted to do more something new, and that's when the idea of funding this studio came. The funding, students, architects, and professors laid the basis for a flexible system built on a self-development. So I think it's also very important that our studio is self-development and not just a self-organizing. Unfortunately, university is often not able to provide with such opportunities due to the structure and functioning, so our student studio aims to make up for this lack.
Okay, so a little bit about our history. It all started in 1963 when the accommodation for the students of architecture at our university opened. You can see this building. It's a Bacsényi 2830, and during the communist era, this was a place for underground cultural activities, for example, exhibitions and lectures and stuff like that. And it was really a cultural center in that time. One might ask how could the dormitories staff manage that kind of freedom in the communist era, and they used a really smart argument that an architect needs to be acquainted with all cultural products, should they be ideologically bad or good. So that's why this place was an underground cultural center. Well, there was a journal called Bacsényi 2830 also, and this journal was alive for like 25 years. And first it started out as just a student school paper, but then it became a major cultural magazine of Budapest and the whole country. And it discussed like architectural topics and art topics, and it documented the cultural and public life of the dorm. Yeah, you can see an old picture here. So it was really a lively place, and our teachers usually talk about it at the university that they went down there like every night, and there were lectures, and everybody who wanted to be a part of this cultural life was there. Okay, now we would like to talk about a bit about what we do now. First of all, we have a studio in the dorm, and that's where we gather every week, and also we can go down there every time we want. And we believe that this is like the most important aspect of our work, that we have a studio where we work together, we exchange ideas, or we just hang out there, get a beer from the store downstairs. And you can see that this picture was taken 20 years after the picture that was before there. And we still work together, we still have computers there, so this is like the main aspect of our work. Okay. We also organize lectures. The theory of architecture is a really important thing for the studio. So you can see that we organize these lectures by ourselves. So, for example, in the past we've had lectures about the architecture of the 80s and also the post-war architecture and postmodern architecture also. And then you can see that this is I think the 80s course. These are courses that run along the semester, and then maybe every week or every 2 weeks at the night, it's for 2 hours or something like that. And then we also have practical ones. You can see here that it was a Photoshop course, I think, because at the university they don't really teach us how to use these programs properly. So that's why we organize these kind of courses also. They are sometimes open for all students at the university, but the courses that we have for ourselves, they are just for the members of the studio. Okay. We also have film clubs, and you will see some pictures about our lectures there too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The next thing that we do workshops. For example, workshops with theaters, because we believe that our objective is to get to know other kinds of arts too, not just architecture. So background design for plays, for theaters, are stuff that is close to architecture but also another form of art. So we will, this is for example, there is a theater at the university, and they asked former members of our studio to build a pavilion for them. So you can see construction work here happening. And then also there are some other pictures about that. Yeah, this was another pavilion, also for I think a theater company. Yeah, this was an installation in a city called Pécs, I think about 5 years ago. And okay, this is another kind of workshop. A former member of our studio moved to Barcelona, and then he invited some members, and they just made a do-it-yourself furniture workshop, and these were the results. So pretty cool stuff. Yeah, this was this summer, I think. Yeah, we built an outdoor fireplace for just a small village in Hungary, and it was just like a summer camp, you know, for having fun, building stuff, and yeah, just having a good time. Yeah, you can see our members cutting wood. Yeah, this was for a theater company also. Okay.
So our main activities, beside the workshops, beside the lectures, courses, we also organize field trips. not just because we like to travel, but also because we want to get more knowledge about the European architecture, about the architecture around to us. In this picture you can see we have been 2 years ago maybe in Venice, in the Biennale. And 3 years ago we have been also in Portugal. We have visited several cities, Porto. We also tried to visit Álvaro Sizá's office, but it doesn't happen. We also visited last summer the Expo Milano. Usually we apply for a grant to get some financial support, and that's why we usually visit just international exhibition. Another field trip, it was also a workshop, a workshop about the welding technologies in Barcelona. You can see how does it work. And we made, it's quite interesting, we made the chimney cake station, as you can see on the picture. And after, when we made this product, we tried to sell our cake on the beach. We went to Romania, to Bucharest. It was a conference like this Night of Architecture. That was in Venice. And in October we have been here in Bratislava. Maybe you can recognize the building. And this event was where we met the Archtung organization. So that's why we are now here.
So thank you for the invitation this way. Okay, as I told you before, we have a history with the journal B2830. So if you're interested in it, you can come after our presentation and just look at it. And we have some other stuff that has some English text in it about our studio. So the theoretical and publications have always been very important. So we have publications. For example, a journal called Strike. It has had 2 editions. The first one was about rubbish, and the other one was about who cares about architecture. And these are platforms for people interested in contemporary architecture and architecture theories to write down their opinions and have discussions about these kind of stuff. This is a publication about our studio itself. You can also take a look at it if you want to. And this is a book that 2 of our former members wrote. We also organize conferences about the school system and about the role of architecture, So these are cultural events that we think are important and topics that are important to discuss. This next picture is one of our events that we organized during the spring. It is called an alumni dinner, and we organize it because we believe that maintaining a good relationship with our former members is a key to get to know our history and just to have a good network of people that we know. This is also that. And then lastly, we are the representative of EASA. Some of you may have heard about it. It's short for European Association of Students of Architecture. And it's basically an association that has a 2-week workshop every summer throughout Europe. You can see where they all been held. And in 2006, when the student studio was 10 years old, they organized this, as you saw it, and it was taking place on a boat. And it's just a 2-week of having fun with other architecture students and building stuff and having parties and stuff. So if you're interested in that kind of things, then I'm sure you can apply from Slovakia too. Yeah, that's it. So thank you very much for your attention, and find us on Facebook and on the internet, and And take a look at the publications that we brought, and thank you. Do you have any questions, anyone?
How do you apply, or is there any restriction to your organization? Because you say it's only for members, some kind of workshops. Is everybody free to come into your organization?
Yeah, we have some workshops that are open to everyone, and then some that are only for the members. But if you're thinking about how we apply, that's a good question. Each year we have like an application camp where you come, and then it's like a three-day workshop, and then you work together with the members who are already in the group, and then you get chosen by how you can cooperate, how you can work together with other people, how you can express your ideas. So it's kind of a simple process. Yeah. Any other questions? No, they are coming completely from the students. We have some professors, not professors, but some teachers at the university who were founding members of the Student Studio. So we get some help from them, but basically we are self-organized. So everything that we do it by ourselves. No, we don't have any funds from the university. There are grants at the university that we can apply for, but we have to write an actual documentation for that. So we can apply for that, and sometimes there are government funds, but they are not. So it's just by chance. They're just a one thing.
Publications, for example, you have really big books. I like that. It's like it looks like really much, but that costs something. So are you selling them, or how does this work?
Yes, some of them we sell, but we also apply for funds, and we get support from those funds. So we write in the application that we would like to publish something, and then we get money for that. But we also sell them. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.